Can you keep a secret? My little angel whispered in my ear, with his tiny hand over his mouth. Daddy killed a woman. Daddy killed a woman? Why would my baby say that? Danny's father is not a killer, is he? I wanted to believe my son. There was a killer on the loose. They called this killer the Soul Hunter. According to the news reports, the Soul Hunter already killed 7 people. The first victim was a mother of 2. The police discovered the woman's body in a pond. Some of her body parts were missing. The police also found human remains scattered in an open field. The reports say that the Soul Hunter killer roams the streets of London at night and in the daytime. I'm a nurse and I work nights at a local hospital. I leave work at around 7 o'clock in the morning. The underground garage where I park my car is eerily dark. I hate parking my car down there. It's still dark in the morning when I leave work. Sometimes I feel like I'm being watched. I hate the darkness. I'm in the dark at the moment, and it's just me and my son. The power went out. I'm in my son's bedroom. I was reading him a bedtime story when he told me his secret. A secret that his daddy wanted him to keep. I know my son has an imagination, and he can lie when he wants to. I mean, he's 5 years old for God's sakes. We've all lied when we were 5. No child is an angel. But my son loves his daddy, so why would he lie? Why would he tell me he killed someone? Is this a prank? Did my husband put my son up to this? I asked my son to repeat what he said and he did. My blood ran cold after he repeated himself. Honey, you shouldn't say things like that about your daddy. This is what I said to him. I know me and your daddy had an argument, so are you saying that daddy killed a woman because you're mad at him? Tell mommy the truth. Are you making this up? I watched Danny shake his head to my question. I'm not making it up, mommy. Daddy killed a woman. He shot her. My son became more elaborate with his story. He shot her in the head. She had something sharp in her hand. She stabbed him, and that's when he shot her. She couldn't fight anymore. My baby told me this with an earnest sparkle in his little eyes. I couldn't tell if he was lying or telling me the truth. I preferred my son's story to be a lie. I stood up from my son's bed after he went into details with his story. My mind went into overdrive. Is my husband the Soul Hunter? Did my son find out by accident? If my husband's a killer, then how did my son find out? Is he taking my baby with him when he goes to kill people? Why would Jerry do that? Wait a minute, I can't believe this. My son is lying. He has to be. It was 9 o'clock at night and my husband wasn't at home. At least I assumed he wasn't at home. I married my husband 10 years ago. He was a rookie cop when we first got married. He got promoted to detective after he graduated from college with a degree in criminal justice. He solved a kidnapping crime 2 years ago. A woman's daughter went missing. The woman was a judge. It turned out that a disgruntled former prosecutor kidnapped the woman's baby. My husband found the little girl alive in the trunk of a car. The car belonged to the former prosecutor. My husband saved a baby's life. He's a police detective now. Why would he be a killer? They say it's always the one you least expect. Are you okay, mommy? My son's sweet voice takes me away from my dazed thoughts. He looks at me with worry on his face. His tiny red lips are open slightly. I walk back over to his bed and I comb my fingers through his curly golden brown hair. Yes, baby, I'm fine. Your mommy was just thinking about something. I study my son's plump face. His cheeks are still keeping their baby fat. His bright eyes are unguarded. I kneel beside his bed with the back of my hand stroking his chin. I guess I'm shocked by what's going on. I don't want to think my son is lying to me, but I also don't want my husband to be the Soul Hunter. You mean to tell me I married a man who's going around the city chopping up innocent people? I had a baby with someone who's a psycho. No, that can't be right. Baby, I want you to tell me the truth. You said Daddy shot a woman. Where were you when he killed this lady? My voice is firm, but I try not to make my son feel uncomfortable. I'm still touching his plump face. I was in my bedroom, Danny tells me. I stare at my baby suspiciously. If you were in your bedroom, then how do you know that your daddy killed a woman? I feel guilty for grilling my son, but I have to know the truth. Asking my child these questions is the only thing that's keeping me from going into shock. My hands feel wet and so does the rest of my body. I hate sweating. It always makes my skin itch. My heart feels like it's sinking deeper into my chest. Jerry will be home any minute now and I'm trying to get the truth out of my son. I keep thinking about the news reports. I keep thinking about the human remains discovered in the field, and the decomposed body of the woman found in the pond. Was that the body of the lady who was shot? But they said nothing about her being shot on the news. They said the killer partially decapitated her. They also said that her hands and feet were missing. I saw Daddy shoot the lady. He shot her in the hallway right outside my bedroom. My child was answering my questions while his mommy had fallen into a shock daze. I woke up when I heard his voice again. Your daddy shot the woman outside your bedroom? Baby, are you sure you're not making this up? I badly want to hear my son say that he's making the whole thing up, so my mind can be at peace again. But he keeps telling me the same thing. Mommy, I'm not making it up. I saw tears forming in his little eyes when he defended himself this time. He started nervously rubbing his little palms against his sleeveless Aquaman pajama shirt. My baby is either lying to his mommy, or he's a damn good little actor. I grabbed his wrists and I jerked him forward, which probably brought the tears to his eyes. Before I realized what I had done, it was too late. I'm scaring my baby. I can't be forceful with him. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to grab you. I try to calm him and it works. He gives me a slight smile when I go back to stroking my fingers through his hair. I didn't know what else to say to my son. I didn't want to keep grilling him and feeling like a terrible mom. My sleeveless nightgown is sticking to my body. I'm trying to stop sweating. I fidget with my necklace and the silver crucifix pendant that's resting between my breasts. I could feel my heartbeat increase after I realized that my son was telling me the truth. My son has lied to me before. Every time I'd grab his wrists and yank him towards me, he'd tell me the truth. That didn't happen this time. His story didn't change, and after the way I grabbed him, he would have definitely changed his story for fear of getting a spanking. My baby was telling me the truth, and I still didn't want to believe it. I wanted to grab my son and run out of the house. I wanted to go to the police. I also thought about taking Danny to my sister's house and telling her what my son told me. Don't be afraid, Mommy. Daddy killed the lady, and it's over now. Danny said this to me, and it was the strangest thing I had ever heard my baby say. He must be in shock. How can you not go into shock after you find out that your daddy is a killer? They only found the remains in the bodies of 4 people. There are 3 bodies still unaccounted for. God knows what those 3 bodies will look like when the police find them. Did my husband do it? Did he kill these people? Is he the soul hunter? No, not my husband. Not Jerry. We have our marital problems, but I still love him. I can't picture my husband wandering through the city at night, abducting innocent people and slaughtering them. If he's killing people, is he doing it to spite me? Is he angry about our marriage deteriorating, and he's releasing his anger by murdering innocent civilians? Does he want to kill me and Danny, but he can't bring himself to do it? Is it displaced aggression? Jerry's always had problems with his temper. A month ago, he smashed a dinner plate against the wall when I told him I had to work late. My troubled thoughts ran deep. I was still kneeling beside my son's bed. I thought about taking my son and leaving the house, but then I heard Jerry come into the house. I heard his footsteps downstairs. Those footsteps were coming up the stairs now. It was like the sound of his footsteps appeared downstairs. Now I could hear those footsteps marching upstairs. Those footsteps were coming down the hallway, getting closer to my son's bedroom. My eyes fell on the doorknob when I saw it slowly rotating. I tried to grab my son, but it was too late. My husband stepped into the room, and I could still make out his face beyond the darkness. I saw something in his hand. It looked like something metallic. Oh my God, he has a gun. I think it's a gun. I can't tell through the darkness. God, please don't let him kill us. I don't want the love of my life to murder me and our baby. I couldn't breathe. I was too afraid to breathe. I attempted to grab Danny, but then Jerry flicked on the bedroom light. The power came back on. I froze when I looked and saw Jerry standing at the foot of my son's bed. "You're supposed to be asleep, little man." That's what my husband said. But then he said this and my heart stopped. "Were you talking to mommy's ghost again?" I look around at my son, and he nods his head at his daddy. What the bloody hell is he talking about? Why is he saying mommy's ghost? What are you talking about? I say out loud to Jerry, but he never responds to my voice. He just keeps talking to my son, saying more disturbing things about me. He's holding his phone, which I thought was a gun. "You want to sleep with Daddy tonight? Daddy will protect you. I don't want the ghost of a serial killer harassing my baby while he's trying to sleep." The ghost of a serial killer? What on earth is Jerry talking about? I'm not a serial killer. Excuse me, honey. I'm standing right here just to let you know. You don't have to be an asshole in front of Danny. I'm yelling at Jerry now, but he still ignores my voice. I feel myself getting angry. That's odd. I felt scared a minute ago, but now I have no fear. My husband just keeps talking and pissing me off. "Your mom was a beautiful woman. She looked like a fashion model, but she was ugly on the inside. I still loved your mom even after I found out she was the soul hunter. That's what love is all about, sweetheart. When you marry someone, you gotta love the bad and the good. I didn't want to shoot your mommy that night, but I had to protect you. I found out she had killed all those people, and I confronted her in the kitchen, instead of keeping my mouth shut. I should have just told my superior. I didn't want to believe she was the killer. She was my wife and your mommy. Your daddy was in shock. I didn't want to kill her, but I had to do something when she went upstairs with the knife. I can't believe I survived after she stabbed me. I foolishly confronted her, not realizing that she could go off, which is what she did. I put you in danger." I watch my husband's eyes sink. I'm seeing tears swelling up in his eyes. "Don't feel bad, Daddy," my son says to him. "I just spoke to Mommy. I told her you killed the lady, but Mommy didn't know that she was the lady. Mommy doesn't know she's dead yet. And I don't think she knows that she killed people. I think when you're a ghost you forget things." My son speaks to his father, like a little English school teacher, and I see all the blood drain from Jerry's face. My husband looks terrified, and I feel my body getting heated. But as I am getting mad, my memory comes back to me. Is Mommy in the room right now? My husband's voice is trembling behind his question. His body straightens. I watch as my son points up at me. My husband looks around, but his frightened eyes are looking through me, not at me. While all this is happening, my memory is still unfolding. I feel this irrational rage growing inside me. What is this? Why am I feeling this way? I saw images flash in my head. I saw severed fingers and toes. I saw a knife and blood on my hands. I saw a young woman wearing a black leather jacket and a denim miniskirt. The woman had a curvy physique, like me, but I couldn't see her face, because she was wearing a black ski mask. She was holding a knife. I could see her roaming down the lonely streets of London at night. She's wearing AirPods, and I can hear her listening to her favorite rap star, while wandering through the streets, searching for her next victim. She's listening to Juice WRLD. That's funny, because Juice WRLD is my favorite rap star. This can't be right. Then I saw her again, stuffing a dead body into the trunk of her car. Wait a second, that's my car. Suddenly, I hear the voice of a news reporter. Authorities confirmed that a 31-year-old woman, named Elizabeth Leslie Connor, is the soul hunter killer. The woman, who was a nurse, stabbed her husband, but he survived. Out of self-defense, the killer's husband, Jerry Connor, shot and killed his wife. The woman's husband was a detective who was investigating the Soul Hunter murders. What is this? What's happening to me? As I'm trying to figure myself out, my husband snatches my son out of the bed. He tries to carry him out of the room, but I jump in front of him and I slam the bedroom door. My husband screams and my son is calm about it. I guess he still sees his mommy, while his daddy only saw the bedroom door slam shut on its own. Jerry is shaking as he backs away from the door, clutching Danny in his arms. "Mommy, don't be an evil ghost. You're scaring Daddy." My son fusses at me through his soft, angelic voice and he points his pint-sized finger at me. He locks his adorable brown eyes on my face, while his daddy's eyes are still trying to find what he's looking at. All my husband can see is the damn wall behind me. He's so irritating. I want to kill him for shooting me. My memory comes to me and I wanted my memory to stay away. So what? I killed 7 people. That still didn't give Jerry the right to shoot me. Now I'm a ghost because of him. He deserved to get stabbed. I should have stabbed his ass more than once. I want to kill him, but he shouts out an apology after my son whispers something in his ear. "I love you. I forgive you for the things you've done, and I want you to forgive me for shooting you. I only shot you because I thought you were going to hurt Danny. You stabbed me and then you went upstairs with a knife. Honey, I had to do something. I couldn't let you kill us. I shouldn't have told you I knew you were the killer. I found your earring on one of your victims' bodies. The earring you lost. It was from the pair of earrings I gave to you on our anniversary. I should have pocketed the earring and kept my mouth shut. But I had to say something. I don't know why you killed those people. I guess you were mad at me for cheating on you and you expressed your anger through murderous impulses. You killed those people when you really wanted to kill me. I guess I'm the one who set you off, and I'm sorry for what I did. If you continue to haunt this house, I'll still love you. I loved you as my wife. I loved you for being the mother of my boy. I loved you after finding out you were the Soul Hunter. And I'll still love you as a ghost. Please let us leave this room for now. I know you're mad at me and I don't blame you. My love for you will never perish. I just want you to know that." After my husband gave that long-ass speech, I cried. I felt guilty and worthless after my memories revealed that I was the monster. "I love you too, sweetie," I shouted to my husband, but I knew he couldn't hear me. Thankfully, my son could hear me and he told him what I said. I watched as my husband broke down in tears. I allowed a few minutes to pass before I opened the door, freeing my husband and my son. My son waved at me one last time and I blew a kiss at him. My husband ran out of the bedroom and he never looked back. While he was running, I heard him telling Danny that they were moving into a new place. I watched as my husband bolted down the stairs with my baby in his arms and I understood his fear of me. I mean, I was the ghost of the Soul Hunter killer god. I hate that I lost my bloody earring.